Okay kids, it's fun time. Alright, here we have some 5-minute epoxy. I got my joiner wire in, everything lines up, it sits nice and flat, so I'm going to go ahead and epoxy that in. So basically you can just take that off if you want to keep this around for a reference. Pop your joiner wire out of there. So now we got the joiner wire free. The best trick of epoxy is the mixing. So you take two, you want to put an equal amount right down on anything. This is just a scrap piece of wood I'm using. Use a plastic cup, whatever. I'm only going to need a couple dots because it's just going to fill that little hole for the joiner wire. And the same thing, so this is what you're going to want to do if you're using the wood dowel. The wood dowel is definitely the easiest way to go. That's why I'm showing you the hardest way to go. I usually use a couple of Q-tips for a stir stick, but then just mix. Mix and mix and mix and mix. Oh, love that smell. You gotta love the smell of epoxy. In the morning, at night, anytime. That means something's getting done. When you're mixing epoxy, something's happening. Alright, then I'm just going to take that epoxy. I'm going to let it drip right on down into the hole. Now as you can see, I'm going to take a Q-tip. It fits perfectly in there. Just get it good and wet in there. And then you're going to go from the outside edge. And now we got 5 minutes to get all this working. Do the other side. So 5 minutes is a long time until the 4th minute. Then it becomes very, very quick. As soon as it starts setting up, you want to make sure it's exactly where it's going to be. You'll be able to move it back and forth. And then you're done. So we'll just insert this right in here. Get it to be where we want it to be about. Doesn't have to be perfect yet. Slide it in the other one. Oh, I can feel it. Make sure you don't epoxy your fingers or anything down. Now make sure your wood's lying nice and flat. Your center lines are lined up. Just so you know that everything's true when you go to hook this up. Usually if you press in on the center wire, you'll get the most accurate reading of what's happening. You go that way just a touch. And then I'm just going to kind of tap it until I see it's exactly where I want it to be and laying down right. That looks good to me. Looks like I'm going to have plenty of clearance. That's the biggest factor. You want clearance here, you want clearance there. Once that dries, that's going to be your span, and if something happens where it is rubbing, you can just sand down the edges a little. But there you go, our joiner wire's in place. I'm going to let that dry, and that's how that piece is going to be for the remainder. If you're using the wood dowel, you're going to put the wood dowel right in there. Same thing, epoxy right along that edge, right along that edge, on the back side of it, and you're done.